$1 billion from the $92 billion budget. Last year's budget vetoes total $1.5 billion. Now, of course, Ag Commissioner Nikki Fried last week did tout lawmakers for approving 12 of 15 priority requests for the Department of Ag and Consumer Services, even if some of the funding won't be available until her final days in office. You can read more of this News Service of Florida report on our website, southeastagnet.com.
A toast to soil health.
More and more landowners and their farmers are celebrating healthy soil for good reason. Because farmers who use soil health building practices like no-till and cover crops and who use diverse species and rotations report greater farm productivity, profitability, and resiliency. So here's to your soil's health. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today and learn how to unlock the secrets in your soil. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a high of 80 to 82, then clear to partly cloudy skies this evening. Low tonight 59 to 64. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 82 to 86, then variable cloudiness Wednesday with a high of 87 to 91. A couple of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. On a bright and shiny sunny Monday, a little brisk, another little cold snap, 40-something degrees outside, warmed up already to 50 degrees, so it's looking up for the day. It's going to be a nice sunny day, and of course, any week that starts and I get to hear Galen Unall's voice first thing in the morning makes it a great week, or at least that's what Galen tells me I have to say. I'm contractually obligated to say. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How are you today?
I'm just making sure I didn't break my contract, making sure I get it in that I'm contractually obligated to say how great it is to hear your voice.
Well done, and especially after that Carolina upset over Baylor. I think we're both pretty happy.
Was that really an upset? I mean, Carolina's the best team in the country. Just ask me.
you know, it was great. So my son in his bracket, and he's all into the bracket and everything. He goes, I got Baylor winning it all. I'm like, well, you knew they were playing Carolina in the second round, son, and they're going to be getting an L. No way, and then they're up by 25, right? And then I don't know if you watched the game, but that flagrant call on the elbow that rode up the guy's arm
was ridiculous.
Yes, was it a great call? Was it the right call? Yes, but not against the Carolina Tar Heels. It's a terrible call against the Tar Heels.
Well, and you got to think of the context of it, too. There was no malicious intent there. I know by the letter of the rule, it's just like the Illinois player that got called for the technical foul for hanging on the rim when his momentum was carrying him out of bounds. So if he hadn't hung onto the rim, he'd have either hit the back part of the rim, you know, where the stand that holds it up, or he'd have ended up on a photographer's lap. So
I thought that was a bad call.
I didn't think the officiating was all that good across the board this weekend.
Well, I never do.
But neither do I. So, but it was a great weekend, and I mean, the St. Peter's Peacocks have got everybody talking.
Wow. I'll tell you what. I didn't think they'd win yesterday.
Against Murray State. They beat Murray State Saturday. It was Saturday or yesterday?
Saturday.
No, Saturday.
Well, it was Saturday night. Yeah. I was like, oh man, the Cinderella, and that is what makes the NCAA tournament so.
That's why it's called madness.
You find a guy like Doug, who's just now an internet sensation for St. Peter's, and they were rolling. They're playing with house money. They got into the tournament playing with house money, and they're looking really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the Elite Eight.
You know what makes them look real good? You know it's really looking good right now at St. Peter's? The admissions office.
Oh yes, you are. People underestimate how important.
Oh, it's huge.
You're so right.
I know firsthand. Remember, I went to a university that in 1983 had 3,700 students. By 1990, they had 4 national championships in football and had 14,500 students. In a span of 7 years, Georgia Southern went from 3,700 to almost 12, 14,000, something like that. It was a ridiculous number. It had grown exponentially. It had grown 4 to 5 times the size in 7 years. And it was all because of Irk Russell's football team winning national championships and drawing attention to a little school in South Georgia that, by the way, was the women's teachers' college till the 1960s.
Sure. It had nothing to do with the academics getting better or some professor. It had everything to do with a football team winning games.
The fact that you said athletics, not academics. Academics, people used to joke that it wasn't like a big accomplishment to graduate from Georgia Southern. It was a big accomplishment if you flunked out of Georgia Southern.
Well, and I talk about this all the time up in Gainesville. There is no way in the world the University of Florida is a top 5 school without all their football national championships.
No, of course not. And basketball, football and basketball national championships.
I don't know if the basketball meant as much as the football, but look at Alabama, right? I think the University of Alabama is a perfect example of how academically they've improved because of the notoriety they get from the football team.
And the money they get from the football team that they can bring better professors in.
Absolutely. And then, again, if you've got that student who was going to go to Auburn, right, because up until 10 years ago, Auburn was a school, if you were academic, right, was the school you wanted to go to in the state of Alabama. Now that student's going to the University of Alabama because it's cheaper and academically it's better. And that's all because of the football program. And so you're right. St. Peter's, I have no idea what their enrollment is.
I think it was like 2,800, 2,900.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, their number of applicants, especially the late ones, right, for the kids who haven't decided yet, they're like, oh, I'll just go to St. Peter's.
It's a New Jersey school right outside the city.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a lot of people. This will increase their admissions applications probably 300 to 400%.
Oh, all day long. Yeah, I think you're dead on. They'll probably double. I know nothing about the school. I had never heard of them, right? And anybody who had and they didn't know somebody who went there, they're probably most of the people who live within 10 miles of that school hadn't heard of it.
The only reason I know that somebody that besides me knows of them, and I didn't know them until the tournament. But one of my friends who I'm actually friends with, not just a Facebook friend, but actual friends with, her father is an alumni of St. Peter's, and so she put all over Facebook, Dad wearing his St. Peter's stuff. It wouldn't be fitting without it. And, Dad's got his peacock shirt on and everything. But Dad's probably in his 70s. So,
wow. Wow. It's, again, it's...
And how about the name?
It's what makes March Madness.
How about the name? The Peacocks.
I mean, come on.
Does it get better Cinderella than that? The Peacocks.
No. And again, it will be interesting if this turns into something, right? Because if you look, there's some schools that have the ability to turn this deep run into something that grows and they become like a basketball powerhouse, right? So
Gonzaga did it. Gonzaga did it.
Well, it's not Murray State did it. Florida Gulf Coast did it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that have done it, and it'll be interesting to see how long they can take it.
And FGCU actually was a fledgling little college down in Fort Myers that is now huge with enrollment and everything. It's like the nouveau place to go because of the men's basketball team.
Well, and I'll give you a perfect example. So we went and toured that school only because I had heard about it because they were in the NCAA tournament. And we went, we figured out that, on a 4-hour tour, you're 3 hours in and they haven't shown you a single academic building or discussed academics. You realize that school's got a lot of pools, got a lot of lakes, and a lot of party. So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of party.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're growing. It will be a pretty campus. It's just not right now.
By the way, say what you want. You said they couldn't make the Elite Eight. Purdue's walking the dog on St. Peter's. I'm saying it right now.
You know what, though? At this point, I wonder what the spread will be. Because I think St. Peter's covers. My son is still rolling on that. So, not only did, again, he picked them to win, and he also picked them to cover, so he's very happy.
Let's go see what the odds are for this
game.
Yeah,
it should be
Purdue's minus 12.5.
You're telling me you wouldn't take the Peacocks in 12.5 points?
No, I think Purdue's going to run them out of the building.
All right.
And the over-under is 135.5.
Oh, wow. Wow, I take the under on that. I'm an over guy.
Right.
Well, I will tell you, they are going to be on every media show in America. And
of course.
They're not going to be able to hear about, even if they turn on their toaster, somebody's going to be talking about the Peacocks.
Yeah.
So,
minus 12.5.
Dan Patrick.
If it was minus 16 or minus 16.5, I may take St. Peter's, but not just minus 12.5.
Well, I wonder which direction that line will go into. We'll have to check on it on Wednesday.
Got a whole week. But
have to check on
number 3 Purdue's pretty good basketball team. Although number 2 was pretty good. Number 2 was pretty good, and they knocked Kentucky off. So.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I saw a meme, and it was fantastic. It said the Peacocks have knocked out every team from the state of Kentucky.
They did. They knocked out both teams, Kentucky and Murray State.
I mean, I was like, oh, that's fantastic.
Well, that's truth too.
There's no doubt.
100% true.
Sure.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back. More with Galen Unal after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you suffering from neck, back, or leg pain? Go Green CBD Store can help you with holistic, all-natural, lab-tested products that help with pain, stress, anxiety, inflammation, PTSD, and so much more. We stock smokable products, gummies, chocolate, coffee, tea, even pain cream. Yes, we even have treats and oils for your dogs or cats. Go Green CBD is located in the Paddock Mall in the center court. We're open every day. Come in today for a free sample.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, Galen Unal from Life South joins me as he does every week. Galen, we talked about St. Peter's and the story that it was. But there's quite a few different compelling stories going on in this bracket. Like number 8, North Carolina, number 4, UCLA. That's a Blue Bloods type basketball game that a lot of people to be honest, I thought Baylor was going to wipe the floor with Carolina. I didn't think Carolina would win the basketball game.
No, the way Carolina's played down the stretch.
I know, but they didn't play. They didn't play well in the tournament.
Shouldn't have been close. Again, if Mannix doesn't get kicked out of the game, Carolina wins by 20.
Right.
Carolina, and again, it hurt that Baylor's best player is injured.
Right.
But injuries are a part of it. Yeah.
And then Miami. Goodness.
Well, again, what we're seeing, Tom, is the ACC is still the best conference in the country.
They beat Auburn. They convincingly beat Auburn.
But and again, we're also seeing that, guess what, people? The SEC is overrated in every athletic endeavor they partake.
And is except for
Am I
football.
wrong?
Except for football.
No.
How many of the last national championships have been won by
cares?
the SEC? And
What
by
have you
5
done for
different
me
schools?
Yeah, well, it's all fair.
Okay.
But let's be clear. The ACC in basketball is the superior conference.
And the SEC is the superior conference in football.
Okay.
Let's be clear. The ACC is the almost competitive conference in football. Let's be clear.
I'm a Big Ten guy.
So, well, all I know is 5 different SEC schools have won 8 of the 9 last national championships. That's all I know. That's all I can tell you.
It's true.
The Big Ten, though, Wisconsin loses to Iowa State, a 3-11 matchup. I know that the Big Ten's supposed to be pretty good. They got, 117 of their 16 members into the NCAA basketball tournament?
Yeah. Michigan's still alive.
Purdue's still alive.
Purdue's still alive, and I think that's it.
No, Wisconsin. Wisconsin lost to Iowa State.
Wisconsin
That's right,
lost.
yeah.
And
7 out of the 9 didn't make it out of the first
hold on.
weekend. 7 of the 9 didn't make it out of the first weekend.
There you go. And the ACC's got North Carolina, Duke, Miami, and I'm forgetting one. But there was one more. I can't remember.
No, that's it.
That's it?
That's it, because you got Kansas and Providence in one bracket.
Correct. That's
you
right.
got Wisconsin. You got Iowa State and Miami in another, and 10-11 in another. St. Peter's and Purdue, Carolina and UCLA, Duke and Texas Tech, Arkansas, Gonzaga, Arizona, and one of the best 5 seeds I've seen play because of their defensive prowess. That Houston team can get after you.
Well, they just run the floor. They're fun to watch.
They are really fun to watch. And then the last one is Michigan, Villanova. And Villanova is just underneath the radar right here. They're a 2 seed, but nobody's paying any attention to that 2 seed. And this is a 2 seed that has, the chops to win a national championship because they've done it recently.
That's exactly right. And so they have faith in themselves. They have faith in their teammates and their coaching. And that goes a long, long way.
That Duke-Texas Tech game, I think, is going to be a fun basketball game to watch.
I think Texas Tech's going to beat them. But then again, I always try to root against them.
Well, I told my wife yesterday, Carolina and anybody that plays Duke, that's our 2 favorite teams.
That's right.
And how about that side of the bracket, as we knew it would be? Everybody talked about how Gonzaga is the number 1 seed, and they, that the number 1 seed usually gets an easy chance at it. The number 1 seed in their bracket in the West, Gonzaga, plays number 4 Arkansas, and they get the winner of number 2 versus number 3. So it's completely chalk in the West. Complete chalk in the West.
Yeah. And again, I agree with you. We all looked at that and said, okay, that's probably the easiest bracket. Nope. It is not. But there are no easy games in the NCAA tournament. And that is why the college basketball only matters in March Madness. And this is why people go crazy over it, because the stories are so compelling. The games are always close, and you're never quite sure what's going to happen. It's fantastic.
Can we just say that Tennessee just choked because they had Michigan where they wanted them and just let Michigan roar back into that game?
That destroyed any chance I had of winning, because I had Tennessee winning it all. I'm a huge Tennessee fan, so that hurt. That didn't hurt a little bit. That hurt a lot of it.
And here's something I don't understand, and nobody's talking about it. None of the announcers, they're all staying away from it. How is Juwan Howard able to coach in the tournament?
Yeah, well, because he's Juwan Howard. He was part of the Fab Five. He's a Hall of Famer.
He punched a kid.
Well, he punched an assistant coach, wasn't it?
Well, he was swinging at a kid, but he hit an assistant coach.
Oh, I thought he was trying to hit the coach. But
regardless,
that all day.
how's he not? Wasn't he suspended the rest of the season?
No, No, he only got like a 3-game or something. It was like, oh, okay. You're not really worrying about it then.
Good. No, I'm going, how is he in this tournament?
That's fair.
It just, and Arizona could this be the year Arizona gets back in there and wins this thing?
Maybe. I sure hope so. I liked them. They didn't look particular to me. I didn't think they looked very good against TCU.
No, they only won the game 85-80. Took overtime to beat them.
Yeah, and I was not impressed.
But doesn't every team have that one game that, there's one game that they somewhere in the tournament, the champion has that one game. I mean, remember it was the year Florida, one of the years Florida won, they had a game where it was a nail biter. They won by 1 point against a team they should have blew out. I think it was the second year, the year that they were going for back-to-back.
Yeah, what's the guy's name made that shot from half court that was just like, oh, okay, you guys got something. It wasn't Corey Brooker, but it was
wasn't Brewer. Wasn't Corey Brewer, was it? No.
I don't remember. I can't remember.
But here's another stat. This is the 6th year in a row that the reigning national champion didn't make it out of the first weekend.
Well,
Baylor,
the
last team to make the Sweet 16. Yeah, last team to make the Sweet 16 was Florida.
And by the way, speaking of the Saturday games, I thought Creighton was going to beat Kansas. If Creighton had their 7-footer, Creighton wins. They're a big man inside. They win. That's another game where I thought Kansas didn't look very good.
Well, we will talk more about it after this break. You're listening to Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
China's Civil Aviation Administration is reporting a Chinese airline 737 jetliner carrying 132 people crashed in the mountains in southern China's Guangxi region Monday afternoon. Rescue teams have arrived on the scene where there is fire visible, but the casualties are unknown at this time. As the war in Ukraine drags on, President Zelensky on CNN over the weekend made it quite clear that failing to come to terms with Russia will result in World War III.
I am ready for negotiations with him. But if these attempts fail, that would mean that this is a third world war.
Soccer player David Beckham turned over his Instagram and Facebook accounts, which have a combined 127.5 million followers, to a Ukrainian doctor in Kharkiv. Ernya, a child anesthesiologist, has been showing the harsh realities of working in a war zone through the weekend. USA Radio News.
At Progressive, we know there's nothing like the feeling of riding a motorcycle with your crew on the open road. That symphony of engines roaring in perfect harmony. It's a feeling that would be impossible to recreate on the radio. Until now. Hit it, Jerry. Oh, my word. Really, really terrible. Is that a glockenspiel, Jerry? Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. No, Jerry. It's over.
My leg was painful, red, and swollen just doing the crossword puzzle. I could have put off telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
He told his doctor and found out his leg pain, swelling, and redness are deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to the lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and to be deadly. If you have one or more of these symptoms, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Are you a veteran living in Florida? Do you want to earn while you learn? Call 954-434-8220 or visit our website at nsied.org now. Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants training in farming, ranching, and allied services? Are you a veteran living in Florida who wants help with job placement? Call 954-434-8220. North-South Institute Veteran Training Program is a mix of online and hands-on in-person training designed for you to earn while you learn. Once you register for the program, you'll get a stipend of approximately $300 per month for 3 months. And you can get an additional stipend to offset your travel expenses. You can also get another another $75 for referring a veteran who completes the program. If you are a veteran living in Florida, call the North-South Institute Veteran Training Program now, 954-434-8220, or visit our website at nsied.org now.
The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood Restaurant, a true New York-style diner in Ocala. Try our breakfast special of 2 eggs served with home fries or hash browns and toast for just $4.49. We have an all-you-can-eat catfish special daily for $14.99, and Thursday through Sunday we have prime rib. Happy hour for food starts at 2 p.m. The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood Restaurant is located at 5400 Southwest College Road in the Heathbrook Commons Plaza. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. We will see you soon.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
New arrivals and new savings are waiting for you at Blockers Furniture. With over 80,000 square feet of the best selection and best prices you can find on furniture, mattresses, home accents, accessories, and more. And with new trucks arriving weekly, Blockers has the best available in-stock selection. Unlike many other furniture companies that will have you waiting for months to get what you want or need, come see everything that Blockers has to offer. Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, next to Hobby Lobby.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Don't miss the new Ocala Home Show this weekend, March 26th and 27th at the World Equestrian Center.
See everything for in and around your home.
Kitchens, baths, windows, doors, pools, spas, solar landscape, and more.
Cooking seminars all weekend.
Meet the area's elite contractors.
Hundreds of new products, thousands of great ideas.
Free admission and parking.
The Ocala Home Show, 2 days only, this Saturday and Sunday at the World Equestrian Center. Free admission.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back. Sorry about that. Had a computer glitch. Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, Galen, joins us from Life South. Galen, the computer caught me there and decided to shut down on me. We're only as good as our technology.
Well, some of us, yeah, and some of us aren't good with technology.
And,
so,
and I would be one of those. I would be one of those. What are you going to do, though, right? What are you going to do?
That's it.
So, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, Galen, but I keep pointing out every week that you're off by another week because the war is now almost a month old, and the Ukrainian people don't look like they're backing down. And now the Ukrainian president says we can go to the peace table and have talks, but you're not getting any Iranian in the talks. We're not giving you any bit of Ukrainian land, and if you think we are, that's a non-starter. There's no reason for us even to have a discussion.
Yeah, and I think that's the route he has to take. And again, the longer this stretches out,
better for him.
The better for Zelensky. It's probably worse for his people as Putin just continues to target because he doesn't care. Life doesn't matter to Putin. It never has. And by the way, Putin is very happy if it takes him 20 years. He doesn't care. He's like, all right, we'll just keep working on it. He doesn't care if I read another story where there was a train full of dead Russian bodies. And I was like, Putin doesn't care.
Does not care.
Right? And if you're a model and you talk bad about them, they don't even bother with a gulag now. They just stick you in a suitcase and then let somebody find you. It's like the so-called hero who held up the sign during the broadcast. She'll disappear eventually.
Of course. She'll just, and you won't hear about her disappearing or anything. She just won't be there anymore.
Right.
It won't, but that's the reality of the situation. That really is the reality of the whole situation.
Sure. Yeah, and so I will tell you, Zelensky's winning the media war, but Putin doesn't care. It's just how long can he hold out, and will the West or the rest of Europe actually help him to actually win the war? And that's the question. It's not an easy answer. I'm not. The no-fly zone just will never work because that's an act of war by NATO. And now, let's say if Poland does it, now we've got to defend Poland. Now it's just escalated into a world war.
Well, if we have to defend Poland, all bets are off. Okay?
That's correct. And so that's why everybody in NATO is telling Poland, like, look, you cannot fight this fight. Support from the background, the way the U.S. is by sending planes that aren't completely assembled, right, where you have to add like 5 screws or something.
Because Poland's wanting to get involved, let's be honest.
Poland, they want to protect their neighbor, and they want to keep that border of land between themselves and Russia because they know what has happened in the past.
The longer this goes, the more it emboldens. Now you got David Beckham giving up his entire social media to a pediatrician doctor who has been going around and showing the atrocities and how homes are getting bombed, and the Russians aren't bombing military installations. They're bombing apartments filled with civilians and everything because he wants to document the war crimes that he says is happening. And now David Beckham, because his social media was shut down, David Beckham and his, 2+ million followers, David Beckham gives this guy his passwords and everything and says, use my outlet to give everybody the news of what's going on in the Ukraine.
Yeah, and again, it's remarkable. You're winning the hearts and minds of the Ukrainians, but the Russians don't see it. They don't care. I get it, and good for David Beckham. I guess he's doing something.
Over 300,000 Russians, according to Russian numbers, have been arrested because of protesting the war in the Ukraine. And you're never, you know what? Those people you're never going to hear from again. I firmly believe that.
Right. Again, I don't think Putin doesn't care. You're fighting a battle with morals that he doesn't have any.
So he's a lot like, say, that guy from 1939.
Yeah, I think
starting to sway you a little bit, aren't I? Starting to sway you a little bit, aren't I?
I'm not. Actually, it's not even close. There are 145 million people in Russia, right?
Yes.
300,000 of them have protested.
And are probably in a ditch right now with bullets in them and covered up.
Correct. This, to me, this isn't like.
But we don't know how many people he's done that to. We don't know how many he's done that to. And people say, but we didn't know how many Jews Hitler had murdered until afterwards.
I just think whenever you bring up Hitler, it's a non-start. You can't even have the conversation, as I've said many, many times.
Well,
you can't compare. There's been only one Hitler.
You never know. Putin could end up being worse. You never know.
No, because Europe is a different place than it was in the 1930s. It just is. America wasn't what it was.
So let me put this out then. So if we find out 10 years from now that Putin put down over 8 million people that argued with him while he was president, then he's not worse than Hitler, because Hitler, according to totals, only killed 6 million.
Well, how many has Stalin killed?
Well, see, that scholars say that could be up in the scholars say that could be 10 to 12 million.
Correct. All right. So what are we talking about?
No, it was a weird. It was because he was on our side. We overlooked the atrocity Stalin did, which was ridiculous.
Well, okay. So,
Stalin was Stalin. If you want to compare the two apples to apples, Stalin and Hitler. You want to talk about how bad Hitler was? Stalin was his equal, if not worse.
And did we go to war against Stalin?
No, because he was our friend.
No, he was never our friend. He was just
He was an ally.
He was
an ally.
Convenient ally.
Believe me, if McDouglas and Patton had got their way, yes, we would have went to war with Stalin.
Again, but it wouldn't have gained anything because it would have been a war that would have lasted for decades and had so much bloodshed and nothing would have changed.
Oh, I believe the Russian army was decimated at that point. The American army could have done pretty well then. And most historical scholars agree, by the way.
And then there would have been, well.
But then we'd have looked like the world aggressor trying to control the world.
Again, I don't think this has any of the earmarks of World War II. This is just the Ukrainian people fighting in the media, and they're winning the media. But again, as I've said, Putin doesn't care.
If he fires one bullet, and this is where he should care, if he fires one bullet, one tank charge, whatever it is, into the country of Poland, then it is World War III.
Well, of course.
And it's World War III quick. And by the way, I don't think Putin cares.
Oh, I think Putin definitely cares. He does not want a world war. He wants the Ukrainians. He wants the Ukrainian people. But he does not want to take on the force of all of the NATO countries.
I think out of desperation, he may try it.
No, I don't. I mean,
well, you've been so right about this whole thing already. I put money on how you see this coming out.
Well, and again, you still want American troops on the ground.
No, I do not. I've never wanted American troops on the ground. I think that this war can be fought with drones and decimate a Russian army that is not very good in the first place.
All right. Well, again, and that would escalate in other areas, and so you would be okay then if Russia countered by attacking Alaska with cruise missiles.
Well, you attack Alaska with cruise missiles, now you got a whole different problem, pal.
Well, oh, you're saying it would escalate? Oh.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't escalate then. Then it would be game over.
All right. Yeah, and that means American lives would be lost. You can't fight a war against Russia without putting troops on the ground. You just can't.
Well, I think you can.
Then we'd have to do regime change, right? And how has regime change worked for us?
Well,
not well. Unless you're going to go in and
hold on, let me
decimate the leadership.
Let me think. In Iraq, no, it didn't work there. Hold on. Afghanistan, no, it didn't work there. We along with the rest of the world made the Palestinians create the country of it. No, it didn't work there. Okay, I see your point. Very well taken.
So, I mean, what do we? The best thing we can do.
Wait.
On the sidelines and cheer on the Ukrainians.
Wait, there was South Viet and no, didn't work there either. Okay, yeah.
And don't bring up Japan and Germany and Italy because that really wasn't.
But we didn't put any regime change in there.
We destroyed them.
Right.
We absolutely destroyed it, and then said, "Hey, we're just going to put bases here for all of eternity. In case you screw up again, we're right here in your backyard, and we'll just roll in. And if you're Japan, we're not going to allow you to build an army."
Right.
All right. So if that's what you think we can do to a country the size of Russia, good luck. And if you want to get the Russians behind Putin, attack Russia. Because now you're attacking the home team.
No, you don't.
Motherland.
I've never said attack Russia. I've always wanted just to do what we did in Kuwait, get them out of Ukraine.
But you have to hit the supply lines. You have to hit the engine that is supplying the Army.
It's sitting in a standstill 10 miles outside of the capital.
Right. Good. Then let's just.
It's like a bad version of Duck Hunt. It would be easy.
We have to, and this is the God's honest truth. You have to wait until winter. You're going to have to wait. If the Ukrainians can make it till October, they got a chance.
Yeah, well, the big
And
thaw
I
is
didn't think that was possible.
because the big thaw is
I think
happening
they
right
would
now. The big thaw is.
And-
Wait, it was 12 degrees in Ukraine last night.
Well, but again, it's still the winter is over. Again, there's no easy answer in the Ukraine. Ukrainian people are winning the battle of the hearts and minds of the West, which is important. We'll see how long it lasts.
Well, they've drawn a line in the sand by saying you're getting no land. You're getting no land. Let's just go ahead. That's off the table.
He also said we won't join NATO, which is a terrible mistake. And another thing is if Putin quits bombing hospitals, and the Ukrainians are doing a great job of saying what they've bombed, right? Oh no, they bombed the children's hospital or whatever, and that's just fueling the fire of all the celebrities. The rest of us are like, okay, I do not want American troops fighting in this battle. Sorry.
So let's switch gears back to sports, something that makes you a little happier. Over the weekend, blockbuster trade took place, which means that the Browns have been the Browns again because, by the way, Deshaun Watson goes to the Browns, 6-year deal. But the NFL could still suspend him for a year, year and a half, whatever they want to, even if he's not found guilty in a court of law or anything. They've shown that they will suspend players, and he's facing how many sexual assaults or sexual harassment, or is he facing? Like
22.
I thought, yeah. And so the NFL is going to come down on this guy. So they may have traded for a quarterback that they still can't use this year. Baker Mayfield is gone. This is the Browns being the Browns, and I think a terrible move by them. Am I seeing something? Am I seeing this different here?
Well, it could end up being a brilliant move, or just an absolute terrible move. This is a worst case scenario. Deshaun Watson's in jail. Best case scenario for the Browns, Deshaun Watson takes his team to the Super Bowl, and everybody forgets that he's a serial rapist. Sexual battery. Whatever you want to call him, bad guy. Or he could get hurt in game one and this goes away. It's the NFL.
Yeah. And I sent you a meme.
But all things being equal, Deshaun Watson's a better quarterback than
talent-wise, it's not even a question.
Yeah, Mayfield.
But there's so much more than just talent that goes into what has to be done here.
Correct.
Because of the Bill Cosby effect.
Sure.
It was a crazy thing, and they gave up. What did they give up? 3 first-round draft picks, 2 4th-round draft picks, a 5th-round draft pick, including this year's first-round draft pick. They put a lot on the line for a guy who may, there's a real chance, Galen, he may never take another snap in the NFL.
Ooh. Oh, absolutely. There's no, again, that's the risk.
I mean,
right?
And to give that much up for a guy who you may never have under center, I guess they're smarter than me, but I wouldn't have done it. Also, over the weekend, it broke that there is a lawsuit against the Dallas Cowboys, but specifically against the president and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. You know who that guy is?
Your favorite human being.
Yeah. He's being sued by a woman who says that he is her biological father. She says she has proof that he paid her mother over $400,000 to keep it quiet, and she wants what is rightfully hers, a piece of the Dallas Cowboys, she says.
I love that. I saw that. I was like, good for you. Good for you. Why the hell not? I thought for sure you were going to bring up the coaching change at the University of Florida basketball team, but yeah.
Well, was that all okay, let's get into the University of Florida basketball coach change real quick. So Mike White took a mediocre coach from a small school and replaced him with a mediocre coach from a small school.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think the world is golden.
Yeah, but everybody, I remember 7 years ago, we weren't doing radio together, but I was doing radio, and everybody that we talked to, Mark Daniels down in Orlando, Mike Bianchi, Pat Dooley.
They don't know anything about basketball.
We talked to, but they know Florida sports. We talked to, who else we talked to that didn't know basketball? The guy, Seth, that's on the CBS coverage right now. Buddy had all of them on the radio when we were doing the Voice of Ocala. Buddy had all of them on the radio. They all said, "Oh, this is one of the best hires you'll see. He'll return. Florida won't skip a beat. Oh, it'll be just like Billy was there." How'd that work out? And everybody said that he was a good coach and that Louisiana Tech was an up and coming and that this guy was going to be the next great thing, and he was the next great flop, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a heck of a recruiter. Again, he took a team like San Francisco, took them to the NCAA tournament.
Mike White took Louisiana Tech to the tournament.
I get it. Hey, I like the hire. You got to give the guy 4 years. Mike White turned out to be a complete bust. So maybe this guy will do better.
Why would you? I don't understand the mentality, and it's the mentality of Scott Strickland, the AD. Why would you hire the next great guy? This is the University of Florida. This is an established program where you don't get this is the first time in a big program. That's the guys you hire? No, you hire people with experience in big programs.
Come on, you're assuming the wrong guy. By the way, I saw Jeremy Foley Friday at Honey Baked Hams in Gainesville. And we're sitting there, and he's trying to just eat a salad. And everybody walked by is like, please come back. Please come back.
That's got to be a difficult thing for him to have to deal with that because he still lives in the community. And when people see him say, look, could you come back and take the job over again?
No, I'm not.
That's got to be hard for him.
We were sitting one table over. I know him from having blood drives with UAA years ago, and he doesn't remember me as a media guy. And I'm like, "Hey, good to see you, Jeremy." He goes, "Hey, good to see you. How's the blood?" He literally said, "How's the blood supply?" It helped that I had a Life South shirt on. I said, "It's good." And then we sat down a table over, and I'm not kidding. 3 people. Everybody knows everybody in Gainesville. Are like, "Jeremy, are you coming back? Are you coming?" And they're all laughing about it, but it's sad.
But they were serious.
I loved it
in a laughable way.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Like if Jeremy came out and told whoever the next president of the UF is going to be, said, "I want to come back," whoever that is has to fire, and say, "Yeah, Jeremy's coming back," or make him as some kind of a role within it. Even if he's going to sell tickets again in the ticket office.
And finally, a sad story out of Germany. You remember watching the Wimbledon and you saw this 19-year-old German kid in '85 win Wimbledon. You're like, who is this Boris Becker kid? And then he comes back the next year and wins it again. And you're like, oh, this guy's great. Well, now he's being held in contempt of court and could be jailed in Germany for failing to hand over his Wimbledon trophies and stuff to be sold at auction to settle tax debts with the German government. This is getting serious now where he's to stand trial to see if he messed with the judge's order and everything. He could face serious prison time over bad That's one thing we don't worry about here. It's not against the law to be in debt in the United States, but it is still against the law to be in debt in Germany. It is against the law to be in tax debt in the United States. They'll lock you up for that. But Boris Becker facing some serious life changes over the fact that they said he hid stuff and he purposely said he didn't have stuff that he still was in possession of. This is an ugly story of a guy who has fallen a long way from back in the mid-'80s.
Well, he's in $50 million in debt, right, or something like that.
Right.
And the trophies are worth about €1 million.
Right.
All right. I mean, guys got to leave him something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how Boris Becker got that deep into debt. That sounds like a good Netflix film.
It would have to be, because I don't think he went out and bought white tigers like Mike did.
I don't know what he did. He had to have done something. But he's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
And by the way, who didn't know he had these trophies in Germany?
Yeah,
and I knew it.
He said he'd sold them, or he'd already,
Oh, is that what it was?
Right. Yeah. That's what the main thing is. They're going to get him for lying under oath about where this stuff was.
I mean, he was the #1 player in the world.
Yeah.
How was he broke?
In a sport where, even though it's not in the same frame it was in the 1970s, television-wise, it's still a very lucrative sport for these people.
Oh, I think it was back in the 90s. It was red hot.
Oh, and he did it in the 80s. 85 was when he won it. So
yeah, you can remember all of those champions before it was dominated by Federer.
Long before.
When Agassi brought them back, the Americans and all that, and Pete Sampras.
Hey, so tell me today. Now we're up against it. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're actually right on the Walmart out on 200, because so come see us there. But as always, we're right on the Boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Give the gift of life, donate blood, lifestyle.org.
Talk to you tomorrow.
In need of everything.
Talk to you tomorrow, Galen. We'll be right back.
The Ocala International Airport. This is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
President Biden's Supreme Court of the United States nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson, will be questioned by lawmakers today in Washington.
Justice Breyer, the members of the Senate will decide if I fill your seat, but please know that I could never fill your shoes.
Theoretically, based on numbers, the Democrats could put Jackson through to the Supreme Court without any Republican support. It appears many on Capitol Hill want to hear Jackson before the Senate Judiciary Committee before making a decision on her nomination. A China Eastern 737 passenger jet carrying 132 people crashed in southern China on Monday. China's equivalent to the FAA said it has been confirmed that this flight has crashed, adding that it had activated its emergency response and dispatched a working group to the scene. The plane was carrying 123 passengers and 9 flight crew members. USA Radio News.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free.
Thanks, Pat. Call toll-free 800-630-1490. That's 800-630-1490.
Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Again, 800-630-1490. 800-630-1490 today.
Or at SwissAmerica.com.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Well, peanut farmers are trying to gear up for the new season and to get their peanuts ordered for the new coming year. However, the market is very quiet right now as the export problem is creating a lot of havoc for the entire peanut industry. Shellers and farmers are experiencing higher wage costs. Packaging costs have increased. Totes are hard to find. Fuel and fertilizer costs are skyrocketed, and the farmers are still in a daze as to what to do. Shellers cannot sell a lower price crop, so they're having to pay a good price to keep farmers from planting cotton or corn, which has a higher price. But their expenses are higher. Fertilizer costs major increase and has doubled. Peanuts do not require a lot of fertilizer, just calcium, and that may encourage people to plant more. Right now we're waiting in the market for the 31st day of March when the USDA will announce their target for the coming year on acreage planted. Shellers are taking a defensive position on selling additional tonnage into the market until things quiet down. Some said there's too many uncertainties and too much unrest out there. Our Argentina friends cannot get any peanuts shipped out in the Russia area.
The Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, is a continuous sign-up program allowing landowners or operators to apply for financial and technical assistance from many types of conservation practices. And USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida has made it easy to get more details. Just log on to www.fl.nrcs.usda.gov. You'll find links to more detailed information on the overall EQIP program, or simply stop by your local NRCS office.
For more on today's news, we invite you to log on to our website, southeastagnet.com. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast Agnet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.